Indeed, it is showtime. Welcome to Comic Book Radio. I am your host, Peter Cimetti. This is episode 49. My guest today is NYRIAM NOWA. And we're going to be talking about werewolves and folklore. And werewolves in folklore. And also her book, Bonds, The Cursed Child. I believe it's the second one in what is looking like a series of books. Before we bring her on, I want to say hello to you guys. Just a second. We got Citizen Ronan right here. We got Reverend Saber. What's up? Past Master Dan in the house as well. We got Deerman's YouTube channel. Swap Neil Bambor. What's up? Says hello from India. Hey, hello. Hope you're doing well over there. Jenko Morningstar, thanks for coming on today. Good to see you. Seer of All is Obvious says, nice timing. Just finished mowing the lawn. There you go. There you go. Perfect after mowing lawn refreshment show. B.A. Turner says, hail, excited for Bonds. What's up, B.A.? And we also have Dan Genovese here. What's up, Dan? All right, so let's bring her on. It is the woman of the hour. The woman of the hour, which would be one Miss NYRIAM NOWA.
What is up?
How you doing?
Yeah, pretty well. We actually came from work, so we had like an hour to chill.
Oh, very
and
good.
Jump to the stream. Perfect timing, by the way.
Yeah, fantastic. Is there a certain time you have to absolutely get out of here?
Not really. About an hour should be
Okay,
fine.
yeah, we'll go till like 2 o'clock, so about an hour.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And what's up, Jetto Jaga and Wayne? Thank you for joining us today. All right, so I'm really interested in the look of your book. So here we've got right here, it's Bonds, The Cursed Child. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, you can do so. The link is in the description of the show. And so is the link to go subscribe to NYRIAM's YouTube channel as well. NYRIAM, you've got... I don't want to claim to know about your book enough to talk about it, so I want to let you talk about it, but it's a werewolf book, right?
Yes, it is.
And aside from that, what's the general gist of the book? What's it about?
It's about a family. It's called Bonds, you know. It's a very untraditional name, but that's basically the whole gist of what the whole series is going to be about. It's about this girl that basically lost her parents, and now she's trying to protect everybody she holds dear because she doesn't want to lose anybody again. And as she does that, as she is like working on herself and trying to get better, stronger, I don't know, faster or whatever, she's encountering more people coming into her life. Some become friends, some become enemies, some become mentors, you know, and she takes lessons, you know, and applies them further in life, you know, and builds herself up.
Wow, very nice.
Pretty much it.
And this is the second book in the series?
Yes.
How many books are in total for the series?
Well, that's a problem because I have like a general overview of the whole story, and
Okay.
how I'm dividing it, it should be between 10 to 12, you know, when it's finished. Depends.
Why is that a problem?
Well, because I have like general overview of each chapter that I would like to write, but as like I've been working with Red Gaze, for example, and he hands me a script to draw, and I have this urge to, oh, okay, but this scene like demands a little bit more panels, you know, so we can explain the depth of the whole scene to the reader. So I have this habit of expanding stuff, you know.
That
So,
always happens.
Yep.
Just like budgets in a movie or anything else, all they do is go up. They rarely ever go down. So you
Yeah.
need more room for the story to be told, and that's what makes it between 10 to 12 books, perhaps.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, okay. So I love werewolves. I love the whole everything that has to do with werewolves. There's so many different stories that have to do with werewolves as well, not just the traditional American folklore type of thing. But I love the Eastern European kind of werewolf story as well as the Native American Indian type of werewolf. In terms of your werewolf, what's going on in it? What was the origin for that? What made you come up with that idea, and why werewolves?
Well, there was a point of time during the COVID era when I got lost in reading stories, and I came across these stories like written in like werewolf style, right? I just didn't like how they were written, and I just had a story that I wanted to write for a very long time, and I just thought like this genre could be fit, and I tried it, and it really works for me. I fell in love with it, so I just started working really hard, and that's basically how the first part got born. But when it comes to like the style, I totally went away from the Western style, not the Western style, the European
Yeah,
style
it's
as you call it over here,
yeah.
where when you turn into a werewolf, you're still part of a human, right?
It's like a
So
humanoid wolf.
yeah, what I'm doing is like complete shapeshifting, skinwalker type of a like werewolf, where the spirit of the wolf lives in you, in your human body. You can like mentally communicate with your inner wolf, like lead a dialogue or something. But when their action actually comes, you just shift, in a full-grown wolf. Nothing. That's why I don't know. My werewolves are highly trained in like hand-to-hand combat, without guns, without weapons.
Paw combat, right?
Yeah, yeah. Because like seriously, like if you're carrying a knife on you or a gun, you're gonna shift. What's the wolf gonna do? Like pew pew.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
and the reverse of it is like when you turn back from the wolf, you're completely naked. So if you appear somewhere in a very bad situation, you wanna know how to defend yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's similar to like a beer wolf, the wolf gets a little too much, all of a sudden they wind up in the morning naked somewhere in the middle of a field.
Damn.
But I'm sorry, that was a horrible joke. Past Master Dan brings up a good point. Is it like a cryptid?
Well, isn't a werewolf a cryptid technically?
Sorta, kinda. I mean, so a cryptid is more along the lines of a creature, a beast, something like that that's not human. So I guess when you see a werewolf, you would imagine, yes, it's a cryptid, but
Then
you don't,
in that
because you
case,
don't
it's
know
not.
it's a human. So
Then
yeah.
in that case, it's not a cryptid because even in their wolf form, the human side of you resides in that wolf body, still thinking like a human. So I mean, if you met a werewolf being a regular human somewhere in the woods from Bounds, right? You would think it's a regular wolf. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. So then, yeah. So that's interesting because I have a similar thing even in my own story. King Cryptid. We've got in issue 7. We've got a wolf that's just like that. That a werewolf that's like that. That just transforms into a regular wolf, and then we've got and they're cursed. And then we've got another one that can transform to a regular wolf, or what's more known as a werewolf, where it's this
Gotcha.
humanoid wolf. But in your story, now the cursed child. So they are cursed. Are all the werewolves under a curse?
No, no. That's why it's called a cursed child, because as the readers are gonna be able to read in the story, there is a certain like deity in my universe called Moon Goddess, right? And at certain occasion, like celestial occasions, something can happen to a born werewolf child, right? And they can be different. They can be, I don't know, they can be dangerous. They can have gifts. They can have extra powers. Something. It depends what kind of celestial occasion it is. Who the kid is, when the kid got born. All of these are factors.
Oh,
And this
interesting.
this kid actually is one of those more interesting children, right? That got born during solstice. That's why, besides cursed child, I often call it like solstice wolf, right? So that's gonna be one thing to read about.
Oh, very interesting. It leads me down. I want to have this other conversation right after I answer this. Dan says, I never knew what a cryptid was. Thanks for the explanation. Yeah, so basically a cryptid is essentially just a creature, a beast, something like that that's purported, said to exist, but not documented to exist. So some people have said, well, Santa Claus a cryptid? No, Santa Claus would be a human being. So he's like a figure of legend, a mythical figure, that kind of a thing. But the reindeer would be cryptids. So, just to give you an idea. Isn't a skinwalker a cryptid? That's the thing. is that when you get into the realm of shapeshifters, skinwalkers, werewolves, were anything, because were means man, and then whatever the second part is what they would transform into. Uh, when you get into that realm, whatever you're seeing when you're seeing the beast, the creature, whatever, you're going to probably mistake it as a cryptid, not being aware that it is a human being that is transforming. So there is kind of a gray area as they blend here and there. But if you were to actually have the full picture and classify them specifically, they would not be cryptids technically.
I would say like for us who are creating our like monsters creatures, you know, who see a little bit more deeper, we can tell that they are not cryptids because they have a human being, like thinking, feeling with a soul human being as a part of them. So I wouldn't consider that a cryptid. But from the point of a reader or viewer, watcher, somebody who encountered them somewhere, not knowing what they are, they could be considered cryptids.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Now, the thing I wanted to discuss with you is it's a topic that's also near and dear to my heart, and it sounds like it is to you as well. Are you interested in all things, the paranormal, the unknown, mystical things, creatures like this?
To a point. To a point. I'm kind of a little bit off the sci-fi part of the thing, so I'm not really like into UFOs and things like that, and space and aliens. I'm more into that fantastical, you know, unknown. That's more my line.
Yeah, beasts of, creatures of folklore, myth
Yeah.
and legend and things like that.
Yeah.
They are all connected, though. Let me tell you, NYRIAM, they're all connected.
Well, the whole world is connected, you know.
Exactly.
And just as people traveled from continent to continent, you know, all the myths, legends. Who says even the creatures might have like gone?
Yeah.
You know, over there you have witch. Over here we have striga, right? That's kind of funny thing because in my language, when we say striga, we just imagine a witch. You know, not the creature you've seen in Witcher, but
Yep.
a regular old woman that has magical powers.
Yeah, yeah, spells harnessing the energy of the earth,
Yes.
other various energies, because everything's just energy transference. That's all it really is. The metaphysical and things like that we consider pseudoscience today, that's what they considered pseudoscience 200 years ago. They would have thought magic, get that phone away from me, So,
Yeah.
and now we can explain it really easily, and we all use it and take it for granted that it exists. But it would have been magic 100 or so years ago. So it is interesting how that comes about. And then in terms of creatures and legends and all of that, there's a lot of things that exist that we didn't know existed before that we know exist now. So who the heck knows? I mean, everyone's seeing something. Everyone's talking about something, and it can't just be purely only human imagination. There had to be some kernel of truth there,
Mostly if like people who are talking about the same thing and never heard or saw each other, you know, and they're talking about
Yeah.
the same thing, there's something suspicious.
It's very interesting. Yeah, and we all have. There's many different words, like you were talking about, with strega for witch. There's many different words across the whole world that are describing the same things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting, and they're not tangible things that we can all see and know. Michael, thank you for the super chat. Says, have you seen the film November? It's 2018 Estonia werewolf transformation scene. Lots of local supernatural lore. Beautiful black and white cinematography. I have not seen that. I'll look it up. Have you seen it?
Actually, no, because I could indicate it from the last 3 words of the super chat. I'm maybe it's very superficial, but I just can't get into black and white movies. I can't. The only black and white movie that I was watching and I really enjoyed was I think Seven Samurai, the very
okay.
old one from Japan, and that was like fun. That was I really liked it, but generally speaking, black and white movies just reminds me of old time on old regime in my country, and it's just like, ugh. You know?
So it's like a traumatic experience. You see the
Kinda.
black and white, and you're like, get away.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
That's interesting. I'm gonna check it out though, Michael. I'm gonna look it up. Is it available somewhere, or is it just to purchase, or is it on like a Netflix thing? I don't have Netflix, but I usually watch Tubi and things like that. Sometimes movies like this show up on there. They got so many.
Honestly, there aren't many movies like about werewolves that are that I have to say are well done. Like there was this new movie that came out I think last year or so called Vikings or so. And it was about a werewolf. There was like a CGI werewolf in it. It was about a girl that got bitten, and I fell asleep somewhere in the middle. It was just the CGI was exciting, amazing, but the plot of it.
Oh wow! Did you ever see Dog Soldiers? I like that one.
Oh my god, that's one of the top.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's great.
And you know why? Because they weren't pushing CGI into it. They just went that extra mile and made the costumes. I've seen how the costumes were made and how they had to walk in it, and that I don't know when that mask chomps on a head, it gives you that real little, you know.
And the story reminded me a lot of Predator. Like if Predator was a werewolf story, you know, it would have that feel. Because there's going to be things happening along those lines where, especially how the movie starts off, if you really have no idea and you just go into it, you're like, oh man, this is going to be a werewolf story, you know, as it comes about, but you don't really know at first. Pastmaster's asking about the last trip of the Demeter. It looks good, but I don't like the CGI aspect of it. I wish it was just a plain old, you know, in makeup costume kind of thing going on. What do you think about that?
I think Pastmaster Dam is gonna start judging me soon, because like so far he's like hitting past stuff that I've seen.
Yeah, I mean it just came out. I'm not in a rush to watch it. I don't go to the theater anymore. I haven't been to the theater in years. But if it comes out and it's free, it's on Tubi or whatever, I'll check it out. But I'm not really in a rush. It's
what was the last movie that I've seen in theater? I'm sorry, did I interrupt you?
Oh no. Yeah, go for it.
It was Endgame.
And oh man, Avengers Endgame?
Yes.
So you've lasted longer than me. The last one I saw in the theater. Wow. We could be here all day. It was something around, it might have actually been my own movie. It might have been my own movie, The Chair, when we had a local premiere.
Did you have a bucket of popcorn or something?
Well, if they would have given it to me for free, I ain't paying $20 for no bucket of popcorn. I tell you that.
I would have. I'm a popcorn sucker.
But if it wasn't my own, it would have been something around 2014 or 2015, something like that. I can't even remember. It might have been one of those Marvel movies, but I don't think so. I've checked out of the Marvel movies since the last one that I saw was Thor Ragnarok, and then I was done. I was like, hands off, I'm walking away. I can't do this anymore.
For me, I have to say I fell for Doctor Strange, because that's my favorite character.
So much potential there.
I know. Like, it wasn't that much of a Doctor Strange movie than Wanda doing something bad again. But hey, it's Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and I thought that Benedict was a good cast for it. I enjoyed the Sherlock Holmes that they did, him and Martin Freeman. But as soon as the voice, I was like, you got, you know, that's like telling Ian McKellen, don't talk in the voice you talk in. Yeah. You know, as soon as they said, Benedict, talk in this weird, you know, try to pretend that you're Robert Downey Jr. and then talk like that. I was like, why would you do that? I mean, Doctor Strange is Oxford educated, so that's over in England. You could have had him pick up an accent, you know. And then Benedict is not super strong, but that was it for me. What about us saying 2009 was their last movie in the theaters? Yeah, it's interesting. But okay, so Swapneel has a good question here. It says, can you share your process of writing and executing on papers? So what's your process like as a writer?
Well, you won't believe it. It starts with walking, because most of the ideas that I've had for Bonds started when I was taking long walks. I love walking, right? And I walk at fast pace, and I have music, and that music always inspires some kind of like crazy scene. You know, it's like cinematic, you know, like watching a movie. So I come home and I write all the ideas down, and then I come back to it after some time, and if I still like it, it's probably a good idea. If I don't like it, I toss it away, right? And I started piecing bonds together like this, you know, idea here, idea there, and I just made some order. I even made a freaking timeline for it, you know, like when Lena was born and when the story ended, you know, and I marked like key points of the story on the timeline. and then I just revolved around them. So that's, filling in details. I just decided to fill in like extreme details as I write the chapter itself. That's why, like right now, Bones is a skeleton plus the chapters that are finished. But the good meat around it is gonna be done as I go.
Well, I mean, I think that's a good way to do it, because this way you're able to kind of correct things along the way too.
Yeah.
You know, I find that there's a lot of, it's the same thing like with drawing. You know how they say get the gesture down really loose and quick at first, and then build up the drawing all together. If you go in there, narrow in, and you focus on one aspect, try to make it perfect, and you keep moving to the other, it's going to be ridiculous. You're not going to get anywhere. But it's the same thing with writing. So you get the overall picture, you get it down, you have the loose framework and things like that, and then you start plugging things in here and there. That's how I work, and it sounds like that's how you work. So that's great.
And by the way, have you seen the newest comic cover for, I think, Miss Marvel?
No.
With like the big fist or something like that.
No.
It was all over the internet.
Is it good, bad?
What I was Nah, I was kind of going to get back to the artist. His name is Art Germ.
Oh,
Stanley, him. And when you look at his process, he always starts with the eyes.
Yeah.
He starts drawing eyes, then he adds nose, then the lips, and then he does everything else. Kind of doing everything the other way around. So.
Yeah. That's there are some exceptionally talented people out there that can just start and going, and it's insane. It just unfolds. But for the rest of us mere mortals, we usually build things up loosely and just get a better idea all around. But now going back to the werewolf element of everything. When it comes to the monsters that you were thinking of doing, I mean, obviously this is not a monster in terms of the way people would think of a werewolf, but were you thinking at all of any other kind of creature or mythical being to be at the center of this story, or was it always about the wolf aspect?
I actually did. I decided not to, up to a point where there's gonna be a little witch aspect to it later throughout the story. That's gonna be quite essential somewhere towards the end. That's gonna be like but that's I really don't want to spoil it, but I built my witches completely differently. It's like when you imagine our doctors, surgeons, but 100 times better. They not only have the equipment, but they know how to like work with the like bodily fluids, and your chakras and all that stuff, so that part is gonna be there a little bit.
So they're kind of closer to like a mystic as opposed to what people would think of as a witch. I think a lot of people associate witch too much with like darker elements. You hear the word witch, there's such a darker connotation, but it's not always what's associated with a witch.
Yeah, well, technically they're gonna be kind of like an order, Well, here's the thing. When I was starting, I was building a map, and a part of this map it's called Witch Island. It's not a big island, but I imagine the whole island like this one huge, evolved, perfect hospital full of witches. I know it's a crazy concept, but that's where all the magic is done.
Well, I mean that's not that crazy. Like you kind of have this hospital full of these beings that can heal through the use of magic. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be nice. That would probably save a lot of people on their health bills if that was real.
People, werewolves, creatures, aliens,
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll get there. So as far as folklore goes, did you do any research into folklore to kind of craft this story? Because it seems like you are well versed and knowledgeable in a couple of different things to bring in some of these elements.
Honestly, I've been very dragged and interested in legends, myths, creatures, and all this kind of stuff ever since I was a kid. In my country, in Slovakia, we have like this, like 3 this thick books, full of legends and stuff, fairy tales, that are filled with dragons, with werewolves, with witches, with magical numbers, all that kind of stuff. And I loved it as a kid, and it just grew, And then my grandma started like getting this encyclopedia about. She was very into the unknown, as you called it, right? And of course, I was a book stealer, so I would read everything that she would get, and I think for purpose of building bonds, I just had to add a little bit more knowledge about the hierarchy and hierarchy building, and I had to think about how I want to build it because in technically every werewolf TV show, movie, book, story, the hierarchy is built differently with different aspects, and some I liked, some I didn't. So here we are.
And when you say hierarchy, do you mean in terms of focusing on the story elements, like the storytelling of what is the most important?
No, I'm actually talking about the actual wolf pack.
Oh, okay. Wow. So in terms of like the alphas and the rest of the
Yes.
pack and how that runs down, very nice. Okay.
Yes, like for example, for the second book, well, each book is coming with a trading card, right? With like a detailed description. This one is a
Oh,
Zeta
hold on.
card.
Let me make you full screen there.
Okay. This one is a Zeta card,
Take this off.
and from the other side, you can see a full description, like the abilities and what the rank does, right? So, for example, I put the Zeta as Alpha's left hand, right? In a regular hierarchy, you have Alpha, Beta, then you have Gamma, right? I ditched Gammas from my story, and I replaced them with the Zetas because they're kind of like trainers, mentors, generals. They focus on communication, and I think like in every social group, in a family, in a party, the communication is very essential. So there he is.
Very nice. That's great. Man, oh man. All right. So when it comes to you picking out what stories to tell and how you're going to tell it, are you focused more on the plot or the characters, or is it a mix of both?
Well, I would love to say both, but I still think I'm kind of dragged more towards the characters. I don't know whether it's a female thing, because we are more like we think about people, how they're feeling and stuff, and I think guys are more oriented towards the action, like what is actually happening, but I think I was trying to balance it, and it's up to readers to consider whether I did right or not.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's true. I mean, that's why you even have things. There's all these things that we talk about and we say, and throughout history, and we don't even realize the impact of it. So you're saying what you're saying, but think about like people say female intuition. Like women feel a certain way. They have like an insight into something. There's almost like they're more empathetic. They're more likely to be an empath, and that kind of thing, and feeling the
Yeah.
energies off of other people. So that probably does play a part into the storytelling and in terms of how you're crafting your story and in terms of who's reading it and things like that. But I
Funny
think
you're
you need
mentioning
that
this.
mix.
Sorry. Sorry. My
Oh,
bad.
no. I was just going to say, I think you need that mix between character and plot.
I was about to say, like, sir, it's kind of funny that you're mentioning the sixth sense of women and stuff like that, because you just reminded me of Grandma, who's like very much in love with all the unknown stuff, supernatural, and I remember she once told me a story where she was raising two daughters, right, and up to a certain point, till she like suppressed it, she would always know when something bad happened. She had that like gut feeling, and she would come home, and the first thing at the door would be like what happened, So I guess some
Yeah.
people do have it, some don't.
Yeah, yeah. And of those that do, I find in my life anyway, it does tend to heavily be more women that feel that way. Of course, there's women that don't, and they're relatively more closed off in that aspect of it. But I mean, as I'm talking about this right now, I know I sound a little crazy with it, but it makes me think like, is that the reason we're seeing now this push towards making women want to behave more masculine, to shut off that femininity, that empath type skill?
I think there's bigger plot behind that. I
There's like,
think
yeah, like that's such a part of it, because that's a part of shutting down this innate ability that so many women seem to be more geared naturally towards?
Tough to say. It's well, it can be a part of it, right? Maybe it's something like a side effect of what they're actually doing, but I honestly do believe that the main plot is to destroy the family unit, you know,
Oh
the
yeah,
existence
yeah.
of family.
Oh well, I
That's
mean,
why,
if you can destroy that kind of stuff, these bonds, like in your book, if you can destroy those bonds and create that dependency upon a different system,
yeah,
then you've got power forever. So, there are all these aspects, but that does seem to be an aspect that's being discouraged among women to embrace their femininity, and that you can be strong and feminine. You don't have to be strong and masculine. Like the strongest woman is a woman that is behaving like a man.
I
That's
know. That's why I was like so worried not to make my main character, the heroine, Mylena, to be like the Mary Sue of the story, the Captain Marvel, the Brie Larson. I just didn't want her to be like that. So
yeah.
I just decided to follow it kind of like naturally. Just imagine you're training. It doesn't matter how much powers you have, how fast you are. If you're not training, and you get into a ring with somebody who has been training, you're gonna get your ass kicked, no matter what you do. And I think that's natural. And some people just do it in a way like, nope, nope, she's a chosen one. She's gonna win every single time.
She's already great. No
Yes,
need to improve.
no, my girl, she's not great. She's a teenage girl. She makes a lot of mistakes, but she learns from them. That's important.
That's absolutely important. And that's just not realistic, because it is. It's realistic. It's relatable, but it's also good storytelling. It makes it interesting. It's not interesting if someone's just great at everything all the time, and it's a foregone conclusion that they're always going to win. They're always going to come out on top. Even if they do win, the whole point is to make it as interesting as you can to see them try to win.
Yes, and I mean even superheroes who are supposed to be like, you know, come on, the word,
Super.
unbeatable, right? I
Yeah.
think every single one of them has a weakness. That's what makes them a little bit more believable. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what makes them aspirational and inspirational.
yeah.
You can get the metaphor. It's just mythology. It's new mythology. Michael says Ripley's motherly relationship with Newt in Aliens enriched the story, fueled motivation, and paralleled the Alien Queen's actions. Worked perfectly with the plot. Yeah, all kinds of things like that. Even Sarah Connor with Terminator. Look at her transformation. I mean, by
Yeah.
the time, yeah. So I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but if you
Depends which
haven't seen
Terminator
it,
you're talking about, because like I mean
that's
she had a bond with the Terminator in many movies.
I'd say 1 and 2. And then 3 it gets a little bit, and then by that point in time, things start to unravel a bit. But yeah, Michael did nail it. Good job, Michael. Very good. All right, so we're going to take a quick break right here. We're going to show you guys a trailer just for a minute. We'll be right back. This is Comic Book Radio, episode 49. I'm your host, Peter Cimetti. Tonight, my guest is NYRIAM, or today, my guest is NYRIAM NOWA. And we'll be right back. Just 1 minute. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back to Comic Book Radio. I'm here with NYRIAM NOWA, and NYRIAM was kind enough to let me know that she also has videos to show. Do you want to play those now?
If you don't mind, I would
Yeah, yeah,
love
we
to.
could play those now. That'd be fun. All right, let's take that
Wait,
off here
wait.
and let's make a full screen
But not
on
that one.
this. Not
Not that
this.
one.
No, not this
No,
one.
no, no.
Okay.
I actually do have videos prepared here on my screen if you don't mind.
Oh, you got videos on your screen.
Yes.
Beautiful. Even better. So feel free to share your screen and we'll pop up those videos right here for everybody to see.
Can I? Will we be able to listen to it if I share a window?
Yeah, yeah. As long as you hit the, I think it still has that audio
Okay,
box
got
that
it.
you need to check off, something like that.
Alrighty. So the first one is called Plump Kids, and this one is a okay. It's actually a wrong with video, but it's
I'm guessing this is not for bonds.
Yeah, no, no, no. It's our Halloween project. It's about two little pumpkins, you know, like children with pumpkin heads that are living their life in a town called Booville. And they're having their own encounters with like cryptids and creatures and monsters. And they need to like solve the problem that the creatures and monsters bring to them, you know, by being kind. So this is gonna be like a story for kids. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Stop screening for a while so I can prepare the other one if you don't mind.
Okay, sure, sure.
Like I haven't done this for a super long time. And this one is from our production with me and Gaze. It's a very fresh trailer, just done, finished today.
Is this one for bonds?
That is for Hellgrave. Bonds
Holy
3 is gonna come after that, but this Hellgrave one is about vampire, you know.
Oh wow, okay. So these are two separate books. They don't have to do with bonds?
No.
Wow, okay.
No. Bonds is gonna come too. So yeah, those are our like newest upcoming projects that we have. And then of course there's gonna be Bonds 3, you know, and so many others. Oh my god, we're so active. But it's kind of funny thing, like all of our projects that we're working on have something to do with mythical, you know, with these monsters, creatures, something. So
Very nice. Good stuff. All right, if you guys are in the chat and you want to join for just a little bit, if you got a question or comment for NYRIAM, there's the link. You guys can feel free to join. Just one at a time, and we'll try to keep it quick so we can keep the show at an hour or less. But there you go. Feel free to pop on in. So Bonds right now is in demand on Indiegogo. It's at 11,454 with 181 backers. When does fulfillment start for this?
fulfillment already started. We actually shipped
very
out,
nice.
around 70 books. This Friday is gonna be 100 out of 150, I think, because like some people backed multiple tiers, so we make it one order. So yeah, we kind of started early. We were trying to make sure to fulfill because we have August 2023. We're trying to make it August 2023. That's really like fulfill on time, have everything ready before we start a campaign, and if possible, just give something little extra. Like I don't know if people noticed, but the Bonds is shipping in a box like this. Like everybody is getting a box like this, and it's like an extra free something for as a thank you for backing.
Oh, very nice.
So yeah.
So the creative team involved, who is that? Other than yourself, and include yourself too, of course.
Me and Redgaze, yes. We're the creative team. Like in this particular campaign, the comic was done by me. He was doing some grammar check and editing, but he actually made his own entry. He wrote this beautiful short story called Exile, and I decided to fill it in with a couple of like miniature illustrations.
Oh, nice.
So it's a written short story. He wrote it. It's based. It's like an origin story for one of the characters that are in Bonds 2.
All right, man, oh man. So go check this out. Right now, this is on Indiegogo. The link is in the description of the show. Let's take that out right here. And again,
Yeah,
if you
and the
guys
tiers
want to
are
join,
limited.
you got any questions or comments for NYRIAM, again, feel free.
Or
And what
ask
was
in the
that? I'm
chat.
sorry.
I said that the tiers are limited by number. So the number that you can see, those are the
Oh, yeah.
the last available pieces left.
All right. Okay, yeah, I see it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go get on this if it looks interesting to you. Featured perk 7 remaining of the featured perk. Jeez. All right. When's the next one launching?
Well, that's a good question. I already have it mapped in my head. I already made the first 2 pages for it because I wanted to start the mailing list as soon as possible. But then we got the idea with the pumpkins, and I was like, we have to do this on Halloween because people are gonna love that. I mean, they're so damn cute with, just please give me a bit, please give me a bit. I need to show that to you. You're gonna love that.
Okay.
They're so darn cute.
Swap Neil's got a good question too. We'll get to that in a second.
Here.
Are you sharing your screen again? Is that what's happening?
Yes.
All right.
I'm sorry. It's just a picture this time, but come on.
Come on. Where is that?
Is it not showing?
I don't know why it's
There
not.
it
Oh, there
is.
it is.
There it is. Come on, they're adorable. Yeah, so when we got like idea with this, it was like, yeah, everything put aside, just give it a little break, to breathe. Of course, they are planned. I'm kind of guessing that I might start drawing them, inking them somewhere in the beginning of the year. And I'm pretty fast with those because there was a question whether I draw digitally or traditionally. I combine, because sometimes I feel like drawing with pencil, so I draw some sketches with a pencil, then I scan it, put it in a computer, but the inks are done digitally. Hey,
Wow,
Ernest.
very nice. Man, oh man, everybody in here to say hello. Very nice. Thank you guys for joining this afternoon. And we had a question here from Swap Neil. Says, how long is the book, and do you draw digitally or traditionally?
Yep. The first book, you can technically get both. It's the tier is called Double Howl. The first book is, I think, around 80 pages with a short story in it. I don't have the page number there. But the second one is even longer. I think that one is 88 pages, or 84. God damn it, kill me. It's long. Both of them are long. Like, I don't know, does this do anything?
Yeah, that looks like between 80 to 88.
Those are 2 books, by the way.
Yeah, usually it prints in divisions of 8, but sometimes they could be in divisions of 4, depending on which printer you're going with. So 80 to 88, I guess, would be the.
I think it was in. I have it on my campaign page. I'm just quickly scrolling.
Is it? Let's see.
77 pages plus, I think 7 pages of Madman short story.
Okay, so then that would be 84. All right.
Yeah.
There you go. What's your process like? Because you said you're drawing the book too, right?
Yeah.
What's your process like for that?
Well, I love to start with thumbnails, because when you have everything in like tiny little ugly drawings, but still like in a form of miniature pages, you see the flow of the panels, you see where you want to go. Like, I have this scene in my mind where a character is gonna throw a stone from ground towards the tree, and it is supposed to be like between 2 pages, so you logically want to start at the right bottom of one page and then start, again at the next page, and it's gonna create that flow of like stone being thrown up. And yeah, I kind of like that idea there. So that's the start of the process. And then I just try to like sketch out each page. People pencil, I sketch it out, and then just ink it.
Wow, very nice. Yeah, it must be an interesting experience for you being both the writer and the artist, because you get to mix things up instantly, as opposed to you're the writer, you get it to the artist, and the artist gets it back, and there's more of a working out the process.
And a letterer.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
you're the letterer as well?
yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. Like when I entered the scene, I didn't know much about like making comics itself, and I was like, well, okay, everybody probably does it all by themselves. So I was like, I'm just gonna do it myself too. And so I'm doing pretty much everything. But since English is not my first language, I always appreciate a little bit of like grammar check, or editing, because sometimes the phrasing of sentences is different.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you with that. Definitely. And that's something too with the lettering. I had Rick Joseph on the other day. He's a really good letterer. Uh, Something that I see with a lot of really talented people out there with the lettering, sometimes that's the thing that really needs the most development. So that's something that actually develops more and more and more along the
Yeah,
lines
yeah.
when you're doing it. Yeah. It's interesting how that happens. It's almost like you could be this great artist or a great writer or whatever it is, but lettering is such a separate skill set
Yeah,
that yeah, you learn that more over time.
that
Uh,
actually is difficult. But honestly, like reading a lot of inspirational stuff similar to what you're creating helps you with how to create the bubbles, where to position the text, the
yeah,
up to the sound effects and everything.
that's the
So
best way to do it. People ask all the time, are there great books on lettering? And I go, yeah, every great comic you've ever really enjoyed. Study those. Study the
yeah,
positioning and the flow and how those things were, of the comics that you really loved and enjoyed. Every single comic book is a manual to learn from. Going out, yeah, you can get the books here and there and whatever, and they'll probably fill in the gaps. But if you're just starting off, really analyze and study those comics. Darkseid says, got Bonds today. Quality and art is really good. There you go.
saw the review.
Yeah.
He was actually the first one who got the book and posted something about it and made a review on top of that, and I'm just very hyped. And I was like,
Oh,
because I
wonderful.
saw he posted it when I was on my way from work, and I just couldn't play it because the tram is very noisy. So I was like, I can't wait to come home.
That's fantastic. Nothing better than that, right? Nothing better than when you get it done and then you get it out
Yeah,
there and then people enjoy it and they get it. Oh, it's
I
the best
know.
feeling.
That's the best.
The
Yeah.
best. Nothing like it in the world. So everybody in the chat, thank you guys for always supporting the indie creations out there. It means the world to all of us. I can tell you that. Rest assured. Um, Swap Neil says that was one great interview. I felt calm and relaxed. Oh, well, thank
Sweet,
you, Swap Neil.
sweet. That's okay. I was nervous for you because that's been like my first stream after almost what, half a year, maybe even a year.
No way,
Even
really?
I know I've been away for a very long time, and
Wow.
I was actually enjoying the creative space. The worst part about streaming, I love streaming, I love hanging out with people, but the time difference is just a killer. When I was pitching bonds, yeah, that was the
Uh,
last time when I streamed when I was promoting bonds, and that was like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
yeah,
Then
that's
then Mike
right.
Bancroft came with 5 a.m. and I was thrilled. Oh my god, I will get some sleep.
That's crazy. Yeah, I remember that. You were on an open mic Monday show at night,
Yeah, yeah,
and it was late over there.
yeah, and I was like this.
Yeah, yeah. What time is it over there right now?
And right now it's closing to 8 p.m.
Oh, that's good. Not too bad. Sweet.
Perfect time.
Love it. Thank you, Jose. Jose Garcia says, great
Hi,
show.
Jose.
Appreciate that. Past Master says, you are why we do this. Look at that. Darkseid says, go back to streaming, Kate. Miss talking to you. There you go.
I know. We'll plan it out. We'll plan it out, and eventually get back.
All right. Well, you did great for you said a year? It's been a year?
No, not really a year. Like when did Bones launch? Oh my god, when did Bones launch? I don't remember anymore.
We'll say a year then.
No, half a year. It was half a year. I think we were
Okay.
campaigning less than a half a year. So
So it was sometime earlier this year, the last time you
yeah,
streamed. Wow.
yeah.
Well, you did great. I never would have known.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, get back to it. You got a lot of good stuff to show, and you got a lot of good perspectives on things. The conversation on the werewolf stuff was great. I really enjoyed it. And I wish you all the best of luck with Bonds. Everybody go check it out.
Thank
Bonds
you.
right now is in demand on Indiegogo. When is this coming down from in demand?
That is a good question. Well, the original thought was when the supplies run out, so we shall see. But I would love to make space for Pumpkins and the and Hellgrave campaign eventually, and I just don't know. Like I don't want to end up having like 3 campaigns to juggle. So right now it's open. The tiers are still available, as you can see them. When they're down, and I'm definitely gonna let people know. I don't know, August, September for sure they're gonna be there, and after that we'll see.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Citizen Ronan. Appreciate that. Darkside says, go get it. There you go. Go get Bonds, the Cursed Child, right now on Indiegogo. Dan says, great stream. Thank you. Appreciate that, Dan. It means a lot. Michael as well. Thank you, Michael.
Awesome, thank you.
And before we go, I just want to recommend that you guys all go and check out King Cryptid. King Cryptid right now is on both Indiegogo and the Alterna site. We just reached 20,000 today. So on day like 31, 32, we passed the 20,000 mark. I want to see if we can get to 27,000 by the end of 60 days, because that's where the last campaign was for the book. I think we can really do it with your help and support. We got 447 total backers. We're at 20,359, and we just put advertising perks up on the Alterna site. So if you want to advertise within the pages of King Cryptid 5 to 9, feel free to do so. The ads are affordable. $25 for a full pager. Inside back cover is $50. We don't got a heck of a lot of them left. The inside front cover is at $75. We got 3 of those left, and then 2 of the inside back covers left. So a bunch of full pagers though are still left. So thank you guys so much for your support on this. King Cryptid sounds like something you'd enjoy too, Nerium.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on it eventually.
Yeah. I've got even, actually, this reminds me, I've got digital available for my campaigns. Do you have digital available for yours?
Yeah, and I actually have 2. I have just the second book for people who already read the first one, and I have the combination of first and second.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Very nice. All right, Darkside says, buy Alterna, support indie creators. Red Koi is the best. There you go. I'm glad you enjoy that series. And Nerium, thank you so much. Everybody go check out Bonds. The link is in the description of the show. And go subscribe to Nerium's channel, because something tells me she's going to start being on there more often again soon. Everyone, take it easy. Hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to be on later tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern on Andy Smith's channel, and then at 9:30 Eastern on Rini Draws. So I'll be over there tonight, and then I'll be back again here tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern to talk to Russ Leach. That's comic book black belt. Yeah, Russ is a cool dude. Everybody else, take it easy. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys again soon. Nerium, thank you very much. It was a blast. Thank you.
Bye.
See you, everybody.